or maybe saw it in years past as we start to get underway, there have been a few changes this year. The first
Alright, so we're getting going here. We got some resets.
Yeah, Crab Cakes is going to reset a couple times just for information. MetaLow, I believe, saw Crashman and said no thank you to that one.
That's right, but he's finally settled on air. It looked like Crab Cakes did find both Heat and Crashman stage, so she knows those locations and to avoid those.
Well, watching Crab Cakes in the group stage, she reset 3 times every time just to get the information on where the bosses were or potentially were not. Crashman and Heatman are 2 stages that are very difficult to take on at the beginning. You want to have a little bit of help with preferably item 1 and or item 2, possibly even item 3. Extra weapons help all the same as well, giving you more options to take down the obstacles those stages present you.
Speaking of health, looking at both of our racers, they are both really low on health right here.
It looks like Crab Cake's able to at least make it to the checkpoint, or am I speaking a little too soon? Oh no.
Oh, she did get the checkpoint.
Okay, so that death just sending Crab Cakes about half a screen back, so not the worst. MetaLow having a little bit of an issue with crabs, unfortunately, just falling out of the sky and pelting him into almost oblivion here.
Yeah, it looks like we got a full seafood buffet going on MetaLow's screen in this airman stage. We have crabs going back and forth and crabs dropping down from the clouds.
Yeah. Shellfish, crabs, about the only thing we're missing are, the all-you-can-eat shrimp, but I guess that's going to be our dinner buffet. It's only lunchtime for me now, so not bringing out the big-ticket items just yet. Looks like both of our runners are into the last segment before they get to the boss door. So we'll see what's hiding behind these doors. It will be a boss selected at random, which does include the actual stage boss. And no sooner do I say that, we find Woodman at the end of the Woodman stage.
Alright, it's not a Buster weak Woodman, it's taking off 2 pips of health with each shot.
Ah, yes. What Mega Kyle is alluding to is there are 4 bosses that are a little more vulnerable to the Buster shot compared to the other 4. Crab Cakes ran into Woodman, who takes 2 points of damage. MetaLow could have Bubble Man take 4 points of damage, although it looks like another 2 points of damage. So, Woodman and Bubble Man both only taking 2 points of damage, which means other bosses, well, we've got 4 left and 6 stages.
It looked like that Bubble Man was kind of a hugger. You can get a Bubble Man that really tracks your position really hard. And we got MetaLow going into the Heat stage. Oh man, this is his second stage, and it looks like he's going to take the death and just opt for a different stage.
Yeah, MetaLow definitely opting out of that Heatman stage. Without item 1 or item 2, not the best stage to go in. You're just going to lose so much time that, just no. Get out of there, take the death, go into a different stage.
Yeah, it's not bad, especially when you have 0 lives and you know he had 0 lives. I know he took a few deaths in Airman stage. Oh, we got Metal Man on the Flash boss room. He has some white hot metal blades, but they're really slow.
I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing that the blades are so slow, but I usually prefer them to be faster. That way, it feels, at least for me, they're easier to dodge, but, you know, to each their own, I fathom.
Yeah, that Metal Man was a bit ridiculous. It looked like he had 8 to 10 metal blades on the screen at one time, just cluttering up the screen with things you can take damage on.
Yeah, very true. Well, Crab Cakes, with a little bit of early polling, is slightly ahead, finishing 2 stages, although MetaLow about to finish his second stage, so, you know, a little early to call it one way or the other and say, okay, this, you know, Crab Cakes is in the lead or MetaLow's in the lead, because Crab Cakes is going to have to suffer through that Airman stage that MetaLow finished, so might see Crab Cakes give a little time back in that stage, or having more weapons and items at Crab Cake's disposal might make that Airman stage much quicker.
Yeah, hopefully she's able to find...
That is correct, the Angry Knock. Items 1, 2, and 3 are not in their vanilla stage. This is a randomizer, so perish the thought the items get randomized into the stages as well. As our runners continue forward, we see Crab Cakes getting to the end. Oh boy, here's Heat Man. This is one you kind of hope that you have the 4 point... Oh no, Bubble not working at all. Metal Blade not doing too much. Let's see what the Buster does. Oh. 2 damage on the Buster. Ugh. Alright, Crab Cakes disposing of Heat Man at the end of the stage, and now MetaLow dealing with our endless light bulbs being fired his way. Oh, this is going to be close. One thing I noticed, correct me if I'm wrong, Mega Kyle, but it looked like neither of the runners in Flashman's stage took a crack at that crash wall to test out any kind of vulnerabilities for the wall. Oh, sorry about that. It looks like I may end up going solo for a little while, as Mega Kyle has an audio issue, so hopefully you enjoyed the music as both of our runners continue making their way through some stages. Crab Cakes into Metal Man stage, MetaLow into Woodman stage. So we're starting to see a little bit of a crossover with the runners and the stages they've completed, and I think both of them will leave Heatman and Crashman for the last two stages. And I apologize, as trying to sort out Mega Kyle's mic issue, I'm kind of jumping between the stream and trying to help out Mega Kyle to get him back and going. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, if a song is a bop and it's in a Mega Man game, does that make it a robot? I will vote yes. I will approve this. As chat doubles down on it. Alright. Any good joke you can double down on and get a second laugh from. Fine.
Right.
Uh-oh. I think I heard a Mega Kyle.
Hey, am I back?
Oh, for now, yes.
Well, what the issue was, maybe just some sort of glitch going back and forth between the different voice chats.
Oh, no. Well, it's glad to have you back. We missed you.
Okay, it looks like I'm back just in time to catch Crab Cakes going through Airman stage.
Yeah, so this is going to be where I think the difference between our runners may manifest itself. Crab Cakes seems to be clean so far, as MetaLow finishes out Woodman stage. So we've got Crash, Heat, and our third stage left for each runner is a little bit different. Airman for Crab Cakes and MetaLow with Bubble Man.
Yeah, Bubble Man does tend to be a longer stage just because of the walking speed underwater. You do move slower under the water.
Now, something I want to bring up, for those that have seen past Mega Man tournaments, we're not going to set up a pause buffer to zip through this particular screen. Zips are not allowed this year. So you kind of got to go through the stages as they were intended, which makes Heatman, for example, a much more difficult stage.
Yeah, it does. Especially with the enemies you can get in the Heatman stage. Ooh, it looks like we do have a very huggy Bubble Man, but he was very weak to the Crash Bomb.
Now, it looked like 2 shots plus a little bit will take down Bubble Man, so Crab Cakes getting some good information going into the boss refights.
While MetaLow is making his way through the bubble stage, he is taking some damage to get across these gaps, also using those item 1s. Very, very nice.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of an issue here. The runners only have item 1, and we've got 2 stages left for Crab Cakes. So that means item 2 and 3 are locked behind Heatman and Crashman, respectively. Not sure which one's which, but unfortunate if we have item 2 gated behind Heatman stage.
Well, hopefully in this scenario, you're hoping for item 2 to be gated behind Crashman stage, so you can take that with you over to Heatman stage. And, oh, MetaLow's going to Heat right now with only the item 1.
Well, I guess, we'll see if there's any kind of a divergence at this point, but Crab Cakes, I would say, has some kind of an advantage, because we've got 2 stages left for our runners, and Crabcakes was able to start these 2 stages before MetaLow did. So I want to say roughly 20-25 seconds at the point that we have for a difference between the runners.
Yeah, it's not a bad gap, especially when you consider the amount of time that she took to figure out those resets. That probably took about a good 20 seconds.
Well, MetaLow didn't gain any kind of real advantage. Crabcakes just committed into, okay, I'm going to reset 3 times because that's what I do. I go looking for the information. So the first 20 seconds, Crabcakes just kind of gives away. Ooh, Metal Blade not working.
So if you tink a weapon off of Quickman, he will go into this guarding stance, and if you pause quickly, you can have a chance to try other weapons on him without him moving out of place.
Oh no, that's good knowledge, Mega Kyle. I did not know that.
Alright, MetaLow's coming to the end of Heat Stage, while Crabcakes is just going in. And MetaLow still has Crash Stage. I think Crabcakes is going to come out first.
Now, see, silly me, I didn't pay attention to what item Crabcakes got, and it looks like it's item 3, unfortunately. So, MetaLow's gonna get the bad news that item 2 was hiding behind Heatman stage. Oh, Crabcakes. No. You want to go down the ladders, not the holes like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, those enemy patterns are a bit tricky in this Heatman stage. Those Metroids, they have a tendency to track you.
Looks like we found the Metal Blade for Crabcakes to be an effective dollar store Metroid deterrent.
Yeah, and MetaLow with his item 2, he's not gonna get much help here.
I'm kind of surprised he isn't just opting for item 1.
Yeah, that's right. You would want to use item 1 for these screens just so you can place one low and place one high and get to the top of the screen faster.
So it looks like MetaLow did make the switch, so the race is on. Crabcakes into the Yoku Block section, while MetaLow into the Crash Climb. So Crabcakes making that one mistake made this a little bit more of a race between these 2 runners.
Crabcake's making her way across the Yoku blocks with no problem, it looks like.
Yeah, so far so good. So we're going to see both of our runners actually make it to the boss doors very close to each other. Crabcakes should have about a 10 to 15 second advantage, I would guess. I can't fathom MetaLow dropping down for the E-Tank, but
right.
We'll see.
Yeah, that also depends on if he chooses to go for that E-Tank.
Ooh, okay. So, MetaLow taking an E-Tank to sacrifice a little bit of time now to hopefully get it back later.
Oh, that was a very nice jump over the first tin can. Using that item too to get over it. Very, very nice.
Alright, now, Mega Kyle, I know you run a bunch, but are you aware of what we like to do when we get to the Wily 1 stage?
Wow, yeah. This is a very green-looking Wily Castle. Once we get here, before we see the dragon, we like to make little guesses and see if we can guess the color of the dragon, or try and guess the weapon that the dragon might be weak to.
That is correct. I'm impressed by your knowledge of these things. But that's alright. So, Alright, I have gone through a very scientific method of using random.org to randomize my color selection, and it looks like we're going with blue. However, I will never falter from the bubble lead as the weakness.
Yeah, I don't know about the bubble lead. It's not really favorable. You know, you can get one bubble that goes straight down. It makes for a hard dragon fight. But I will go for a purple and green dragon weak to the crash bomb.
Hey, I'm not rooting for an easy fight for the runners. I want them to earn it. You know, just saying.
Okay.
You know,
Fair. That's fair.
I mean, you're in the bracket stage of a tournament. You know, the hand-holding. You know, time for that's done.
And here I am hoping for a crash bomb weakness, hoping the fight is a bit easier for our runners. If you do get a dragon that is weak to the crash bomb, you find out by shooting it in the head, and then you drop down to a lower block and shoot that bomb right in its gut, and the explosion can potentially take out the dragon in one shot.
Really?
Oh, that's a very
Wow.
monochromatic dragon.
Oh, wow. Well, we have a little touch of red highlights. Almost like the thing's been sitting there so long it's starting to rust over, but, oh no!
Oh no, why?
Oh.
I say it's because of you wanting that bubble weakness.
I'm okay with this commentator curse, because, we'll see if MetaLow's able to find something different. This bubble lead is difficult, to say the least.
Oh, poor crab cakes. She's got her work cut out for her.
Oh, there's an E-Tank getting sent by the wayside. MetaLow seems to have found Leaf Shield.
And it's doing a good amount of damage, too. Wow,
Wow, what
this race
was
is even closer.
What was a 30-second gap is now 2 seconds? 3 seconds? Between the runners?
I'd
Crabcake's
say it's
finding...
not 3. Oh,
Yeah,
MetaLow
you know-
just cruising on ahead.
Yeah, so MetaLow not even picking up any of the weapon energy and just, you know, Crabcake's kind of pulling into the pits, as it were.
It'll be interesting to see who stops and checks the wall weakness here.
Well, they had a chance to do it in Flashman stage, and I believe both opted out. And it looks like MetaLow taking a shot at the wall. Oh, both runners. Alright, so the race is on to see who gets past this little roadblock, and it looks like MetaLow's going to make it through first.
Alright, Crabcake's finally trying the quick boomerang and finds the wall weakness.
So another side effect is that we now know the Blue Beam turrets in Wily 4's stage will not be weak to the Crash Boomerang. So that actually is a good thing, because it's more likely we'll see the Air Shooter, Leaf Shield, or Metal Blade as one of... Oh no, MetaLow!
Oh, looks like MetaLow tried to do the suicide drop there. That's where you drop between that one tile opening between the floor and the spike.
Oh, that's gonna cost him big time here.
Yeah.
Unlike the regular stages, the Wily checkpoints are the exact opposite of generous.
Yeah, going for that drop is a bit concerning just because of the time loss, the potential time loss that you can take. You go all the way back to pretty much half of the stage.
Yeah, that's gonna cost MetaLow 30 seconds? Crabcakes is already halfway through this fight. Well, it is a Buster Pico block.
Yeah, this is a very nice Pico Tan with being weak to the Buster.
So here we go. Now we can, you know, unfortunately, tick-tock goes the clock. As Crabcakes makes it into Wily 3, MetaLow still working down that Pico block. The Picotan. So, we're looking at... Uh-oh.
Well, Crab Cakes is not opting to refill anything here.
Well, I think Crab Cakes has just realized, okay, yeah, this is a race, and I want to get this done. You know, MetaLow, I guess, made it through a little issue with the stream, because MetaLow's starting to enter slideshow mode, unfortunately, from my side of things. I don't know if anyone else can see his stream, but unfortunate slideshow mode for me.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing here. There's quite the delay on his internet speed. We're getting just one still screen for about 20 seconds, maybe longer.
It was pretty consistent up to this point. Ooh, was that no, that wasn't a metal blade, that was charged heat.
Yeah, only it was a supercharged heat. With the atomic fire, you got a chance to get a heat where you just press the button and it's fully charged.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that MetaLow is still going, and as we see, slideshow mode ending, he is at the start of Wily 4, picking up the... oh, opting for one of the weapon energy pickups, as Crab Cakes is about 2 screens ahead at this point.
Yeah, and both runners are using their items to make these screens a little bit faster by climbing these ladders and making their way over these spike gaps.
Yeah, oh no, MetaLow just catching a bad one, as it were, knowing that the pit was on the left side.
Yeah, it's quite a gamble with those random floor tiles. That's why I opt for the item 2 there.
I think MetaLow was expecting it to be 2 certain tiles, and it wasn't, which unfortunately caused him to drop down. The panic room, as we so like to call it, nobody home, it seemed, at all. So, looks like a free pass through the elevator section.
Yeah, very nice to see. And we got some purple crabs dropping down in the next section.
A little prop top showing up to say hi, as Crab Cake's about to make it to the boss door, so let's call it 2813 for Crab Cakes to hit the door.
So knowing the weakness for the door, she's gonna take those out first. Oh, finds the bubble right away.
Wow. Luck, I guess that might be why they call it Lady Luck. Wow. Crab Cake's catching a good one here. Just, okay. Alright, I was worried that, that turret would snipe Crab Cakes right before it, went down. Not the case, thing.
So now we have MetaLow doing the same thing. He is taking out all the walls, and let's see if he finds the bubble weakness as fast.
Yep, pretty much. Third item, I think. So, Crab Cake's into the boss refights, 1 down, 7 to go. MetaLow looking at about 35 seconds at this point worth of a deficit. Ooh, MetaLow going right, Crab Cake starting from the left. So, oh boy.
It's interesting to see, you know, who opts to take E-tanks and who takes the big health drop.
Oh, Crab Cakes, kind of out of necessity, had to take an E-tank there.
Oh, wow. Remembering that crash bomb weakness for Bubble Man, just 2 shots taking him out.
Yeah, that is definitely going to give Crab Cakes an advantage. Now on to the 6th Robot Master. I believe MetaLow is on 3 or 4. And gonna have to use an E-tank, otherwise that crash bomb laying on the ground would have taken him out. So yeah, MetaLow onto his 4th. Crab Cake's about to start number 7. Wow, this is pretty tense. You know, there is a couple hurdles still left. We have the Wily Machine, and the alien at the end of Victory Road is always an issue.
Well, it looks like MetaLow did not find the weakness for Bubble Man, as he's opting to use the Buster and taking an E-tank.
Yeah, ooh. That's gonna unfortunately put MetaLow back a little bit. But Crab Cakes looks like, well, full health going into the Wily Machine. We'll see what we got. Oh, boo hiss.
Oh, we got a Buster weak machine.
I have lost count of how many times this machine has been Buster weak. I think I'm on 7 at about 30 Buster weak machines, where it's been 7 that have not been Buster weak.
Yeah, if you find the Buster weak, it's a good spot to fill up some weapon energy.
Now, the great debate of do you drop to the right or to the left Victory Road. Crab Cake's choosing correctly and dropping down to the right.
Right, she did fill up some of her weapons with those 2 large refills in the machine room.
Alright, so it looks like Crab Cakes will have the advantage of getting through Victory Road first. MetaLow about to drop down. So will Crab Cakes be able to find the weakness before MetaLow does? That's what this is going to boil down to. Crab Cakes will have about a 15, maybe 20 second advantage here, so should be able to make it through all their items.
Yeah, that's plenty of time to check all the weapons and see what works against the alien.
Ooh, okay. Found it.
She can get close and fire them all off. Oh, she got one more cycle. Nice. GG to Crab Cakes.
Now, with all that tabbing around trying to get you back among the living, unfortunately for me, SRL crashed on me. So I'm kind of hoping you add SRL up so we can get some official times here. You know, one way or another, Crab Cakes is our winner of Game 1. And thank you, Creed. Crab Cakes 3306 and MetaLow 3321. So 15-second difference all told between our runners.
Wow, that's very close.
So, you know, one less death in that airman stage at the beginning of the game for MetaLow could have been the entire difference in Game 1. You know, maybe that the death trying to YOLO their way through that single brick in Wily 2. You know, MetaLow lost easily 20 seconds from that, if not more.
Yeah. And he found that heat stage with 0 guys left, and he jumped into the lava to pick a different stage.
Well, something like that is almost like a reset, you know, that they were doing at the beginning of the game, because it was one death and then you can just immediately get out of there. So I don't want to call that. That was maybe 6-7 seconds, but these little issues, mistakes, they add up. And, do the math at the end of it all. Crab Cake's your winner of Game 1. 15-second difference, but this is going to show us, I think, how close these runs are going to be between these two runners.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, what the strategies are for these two different players. Are you going to take a few resets at the start? Are those resets going to give you good information? Sometimes they do not.
Well, so far, Crab Cakes, every run that I have seen her do in this tournament, starting from the day 1 race between Crab Cakes and Casual Tom, she has committed to the strategy of resetting 3 times at the beginning of the run. Does it set her back 20 seconds? Yes. Does it give her information as to where certain robot masters are? Yes. If she happens to hit the Crash Man and Heat Man in that process, all the better. If she doesn't, okay, well, I know 3 stages that are safe. I'll go do those. To me, it makes sense to adopt that strategy. We'll see what happens going forward, but I can't fathom Crab Cakes moving away from that strategy.
No, neither can I. It's a very good strategy. I wasn't using it at the start of this tournament. I'm not really a random stage names player or a zipless player, but I have picked up some strats by watching these other runners go at it. And resetting, I reset maybe 2 times. It depends on who I get, and if I land on a good stage, like Quick Man stage or Metal Man stage, I'll often keep it.
Yeah, no reason to reset off of that, I would fathom. It looks like Crab Cakes is up and ready to go, as is MetaLow. So our runners look like they're about ready to get started for Game 2. MetaLow might have opted into taking a little break between the games. I think I would too, knowing that you try for what I would classify as a swag strat, have it go bad, and revisionist history be what it may, but I would kind of look back in that and go, all right, if I didn't do that, I may well have won this race between Crab Cakes and myself. And instead of looking at a potential date with Krebelstar, if I lose this next game in the loser's bracket, I could be up a game and looking to get my revenge at Mega Kyle, who beat me in the first last chance qualifier race to make this bracket stage of the event.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if maybe Airman stage is a factor in that process of thinking. I've noticed in a few of the races, MetaLow isn't really indifferent to doing air stage first. But each time I've seen him go for it, it hasn't worked out in his favor.
Oh, there's 4 stages that I consider to be more difficult than the other 4. The easier stages to me are Bubble Man, Quick Man, Metal Man, and Flash Man. Those are the 4 stages that, in a blind select, if I hit those stages, okay, I can get through to the end of this stage with minimal issue no matter what's thrown my way. Sure, would I love to have an item 2 to, set myself up to just jet across the board? Absolutely. But I don't need to have it. Airman, Woodman are my next 2 where I really don't want to do this one first. And of course, Heatman and Crashman I think our runners so far have shown us why we don't want to do those stages without a little bit of extra help.
Yeah, very, very sound thinking there. It's kind of like a tier system where you put the stages on a difficulty, what stages you want to do, which ones you don't want to do. Yeah, I'd put Heatman and Crashman at the top of those tiers, definitely.
Now, with it being zipless, that actually changes where I put the Woodman stage. Normally, I would have a higher priority of taking on Woodman's stage. I still group it with Airman in the stages, but maybe not. Because when you factor in zips, Metalman and Woodman become a little bit easier. Alright, MetaLow's timer has reset, so it looks like MetaLow is back. But
oh, and you see the game was presented by Westwood. Mega Man 2 is actually presented by Capcom, but we randomized the developer at the end of the game, just like a bunch of different things that we've also randomized.
yeah, Crabcake's showing us that this game is for use in Haiti. The country is randomized. The company that makes the game is randomized. The scroll that we're seeing on Crabcake's screen is randomized. I believe this is Super Mario Bros. 3. This is one of the few that I'm actually not sure of.
I think I heard it was Super Mario World, but, you know, I'm not too familiar with Mario games.
Well, I think we can reserve our right to be wrong if we are. Maybe chat can help us out a little bit with that opening scroll. Oh, it is Super Mario World. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just repeating what I've heard other people say before.
Fair enough. I knew Game 1 was Ninja Gaiden, you know, straight away. I didn't, you know,